Today, we would like to present the following topic on social penetration theory. First, I would like to introduce social penetration theory. Social penetration theory was developed by psychologists Erwin Almers and Thomas Taylor to understand intimacy between two peoples. Social penetration is defined as the process of changing from non-intimate to intimate relationship. Social penetration theory holds that this process occurs primarily through self-disclosure. According to Almers and Taylor's theories, closeness and intimacies develop gradually through interpersonal communications, mature self-disclosure, and vulnerability exchange. This theory is based on four assumptions: that the development of relationship is systematic and predictable. People employ self-disclosure to build closeness in relationships, especially through breadth, depth, and the norm of reciprocity.
What is social penetration theory? Social penetration theory is a conceptual framework from explaining the development of interpersonal relationship. This theory refers to the reciprocity of behavior between both people in the process of forming a relationship. This behavior may include verbal or non-verbal communication, interpersonal cognition, and interaction with the environment. The behavior differs determined by different levels of intimacy in the relationship. This theory also explains that closeness in relationship will happen if the new communication is not too familiar at first, and little by little, enter the facade face by face to the level that will touch the person.
Social penetration theory was developed and written by Erwin Almers and Thomas Taylor in 1973. Erwin Almers, he became an author of 20 books and 130 book chapters and professional journal articles, and also been honored with awards from state and national professional organizations. Thomas A. Taylor, 64, a former psychology professor and administrator at the University of Maryland, died of brain tumor on 26 January 1998. This theory was one of communication and psychology theory. To be specific, this theory is one of important theory in the interpersonal communication theories. Interpersonal communication (IPC) is one of the most popular teaching subject and research area in communication studies. The theory outlines concept of social interaction that take place when two people are getting to know each other, and also have been adapted by many theories in communication studies. The theory identifies a series of stages through which relationships develop, which have 5 stages.
Onion metaphor that we can relate it with social penetration theory. First layer is about biographical data such as age, gender, and their name. Secondly, the second layer is the start of the exchange of common ideas and opinions about what they are interested in, such as preference for clothes, foods, and music. The third layer is where two people start to share their goals and aspirations. The fourth layer is where they start to talk about their religion, or we can say they have become more open-minded. The fifth layer is when they get braver enough to talk deeply about their fears and fantasies, such as their secrets and hope. Lastly, they will start to exchange information where that is private for them, but they are ready to talk with that person that we call as concept of self. Self-disclosure is a process of communication by which one person reveals information about themselves. There are 5 stages of self-disclosure. First, orientation stage. This phase is often referred to as small talk or initial impression. Second, exploratory stage, where start to share more personal information. Third, affective stage. Communicators start discussing their personal and private life. Fourth, stable exchange stage. Revealing is open and comfortable in the interaction between communicators. Lastly, the penetration stage, when communicators stop sharing about themselves, the relationship ends.
Did you all know how to apply social penetration theory for individual? Let me tell you. According to Cambridge University Dictionary, the word individual means a single person or thing, especially when compared to the group or set to which they belong. In social penetration theory, for an individual to form a close relationship, there must be a sharing of info. However, the amount of openness of information made by that person determines the effectiveness of social penetration. The first stage is exchange in personal information or orientation. The second stage is exploratory emotional exchange. Stage of social penetration theory occurs when people reveal more about them in communicate details beyond the most surface information and employ less care while self-disclosing. The third level of social penetration theory is when communicators begin to disclose personal and private matters and expressive exchange, in which information from various layers is communicated and interaction became more casual. In the fourth stage for individual is when communicators share a relationship in which disclosure is open and comfortable, and emotional interaction may also entail conflict initiation. And lastly, social penetration theory is likely to occur depenetration or dissolution when self-disclosure is diminished because of emotional conflict and relationship pressure.
Next is how to apply SPT in group. First one is group that commonly found among class, which are primary group. For example, family gathering. I will relate it with the following stage of SPT, which is on the time there will be a group of new nieces or cousins that we don't even know them. So, for the first time, we knowing their nicknames, and second stage, which is family gathering, will serve a food, right? And by that, we can know what are their interests and their favorite foods. And then we start to get along until they begin to share story with each other and spending more quality time together. And lastly, when it comes to next family gathering, they will recognize each other and always stick together. Next, apply SPT in friend group. A variety of circumstances allow meet a large number of new people at one and form a group. For example, when starting new class or school, because in general most people don't have social circle and they will try to get along with the communication. Just as in the group discussion, they will try to have small talks. By that, they know each other's nickname. Stage 2, similar interests. I can give example while selecting a curriculum. They will notice that they have the same interests as they love to play archery. And then the third stage, share story from the past. It can be happens when one of them start to share stories about the archery experience or don'ts in archery. And lastly, it will transform the name of group friend into friendship, which is they already trust each other and feel easy to joke around them.
The definition of organization is the group of people who work together like a neighborhood association, a charity, a union, or a corporation. Organization is the process of identifying and grouping work to be performed and establishing relationships for the purpose of enabling people to work most effectively together in accomplishing objectives. There are 5 phases in organization. The first one is orientation phase. For an example, meeting your new co-workers for the first day and you politely talk about positive aspects of the company. The second one is exploratory phase. Meeting your co-workers for the second or third time and get to know them better. The third one is effective exchange phase. For an example, buying lunch for your co-workers. And the fourth one is stable exchange phase, asking for an advice from co-worker during a difficult situation. And the last one will be social depenetration phase. For an example, after quitting a workplace, there are strained relationship with a former boss or co-workers.
Okay, so as for conclusion, we all can agree that the social penetration theory is being used in the process of people makes a new friends or make a new bonding. Okay, so this penetration theory has 5 stages, which are orientation phase, exploratory effective phase, effective exchange, stable exchange, and also social depenetration stage. As our previous presenter mentioned just now, this orientation phase is the phase where we need to be more careful in providing too much information about ourselves. Okay, so in this stage, we just need to share the common information such as our name, our age, or maybe the subject we took in university, like the common information only. Meanwhile, the next stage is exploratory phase, where we begin to become more comfortable and start sharing a little more information than the first stage is now. The third phase is effective exchange. In this phase, we become more intimate. Okay, we started to share some intimate details during this stage. Okay, so for the next one is stable exchange. This is the stage which involve discussion of personal intimate details, and we started to become honest
and upbringing. So we can see the intimacy in this phase. Last but not least, do you guys know that the social penetration theory has been appearing since its beginning origin almost 40 years ago? So it originally proposed by Altman and Cherry in 1973. This theory has been expanded upon over the years. I think that is all from us. Thank you.